Endurance running can be hard. For most people, it's exhausting just thinking about it. But if you're audacious enough to participate in such events, there are several training approaches you can implement to improve running endurance. So maybe you simply want to work on your health, or maybe you're doing it for charity. Perhaps you have a specific health goal you want to reach, or maybe you actually just lost a bet with your friend and he challenged you to run a race. No matter what your purpose is, there's a ton of information out there. Now, some of the ways to improve your running endurance, according to an article found in Runner's World 2003, include gradual adaptation to the sport, running 800-meter intervals, tempo runs, and plyometric exercises, just to name a few. In this video, however, we will be exploring more on plyometric training and the impact that it has on endurance running. We will cover both anecdotal and empirical evidence that will ultimately illuminate the answer to an underlying question held in the minds of many new and experienced runners alike. Should I incorporate plyometric training to improve my endurance running?
So what exactly is plyometric training? Runner's Blueprint, a popular resource for endurance runners, describes plyometrics as high-velocity movements that rely on power generated through the stretch-shortening cycle. This cycle then forces the muscles to lengthen and contract repetitively at maximum speed. For runners, this muscle action is most effective and achieved through any sort of explosive jumping movement like jump squats, burpees, side hops, box jumps, and bleacher jumps. Plyometric training can be broken down into 3 phases. The first phase is the eccentric phase that stretches the muscle, stores energy, stimulates the muscle spindle, and sends signal to the spinal cord. The second phase is the amortization phase, or the transition phase, which focuses on dynamic stabilization. And the final stage is the concentric phase, which releases the explosive force and contracts the agonist muscle fibers. How does all of these relate to endurance running performance?
When it comes to training for an endurance event, the key is to consider a collection of biomechanical concepts to help you achieve the best performance. So what factors are necessary for optimal endurance running? According to an article from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research 2017, there are 3 components that contribute to optimal aerobic performance: running economy, VO2 max, and lactate threshold. What plyometrics does is enhance these 3 areas of efficiency. In the same study from the previous article, researchers looked at 9 collegiate runners to determine the acute effects of a single plyometric resistance training session on running economy. They found that running economy was improved as a result of the reduction in respiratory exchange rate after only 24 hours. Another study published in Frontiers in Physiology 2018 also demonstrated similar effects from a 4-week intervention of plyometric training on endurance running performance at sea level and high altitude. At the end of the experiment, researchers observed an improvement from the plyometric group on their running economy, and not only does plyometric exercise aid in making running performance more efficient and explosive in endurance exercise, but it may increase maximal muscle power, which in turn can lead to a decrease in the cost of running at submaximal speeds. This is evident in an article reported by the European Journal of Sports Science in 2017. Power is also an important component in relation to peak endurance performance. Power relates to plyometrics in that it is the rate of work being done. As previously examined in the study done on ultra-endurance athletes, researchers tested the effects of a home-based strength, explosive, and plyometrics program for 12 weeks. They found that the exercise group had an increase in stride length versus the control group, in addition to the fact that maximal muscle power tended to increase.
In conclusion, based on our findings, incorporating a plyometric training program for endurance running may be effective and beneficial for the athlete. Many evidence in the literature have showed plyometric training to improve strength, power, speed, running economy, and stride lengths.